Hi guys, my name's Bray, and today we're going to be doing a playthrough of Dear Esther. Originally created as a source mod, it's now been remade into its own game. Dear Esther is an experimental first-person adventure game which features minimal interaction from the player and instead focuses on story and atmospherics. For this reason, I'll be keeping commentary to a minimum to try and give you an idea of the atmosphere within the game. Anyways, let's get started. Chapter 1, The Lighthouse.
Dear Esther, I sometimes feel as if I've given birth to this island. Somewhere between the longitude and latitude, a split opened up, and it beached remotely here. No matter how hard I correlate, it remains a singularity, an alpha point in my life that refuses all hypothesis. I return each time leaving fresh markers that I hope, in the full glare of my hopelessness, will have blossomed into fresh insight in the interim.
Some sort of lighthouse. Hebridean history. Yeah, just so you're aware, this game is set in an island in the Outer Hebrides, which for those of you that don't know where that is, it's the islands north of Scotland. Some paint. Hell's that? So it's some sort of formula. Don't know. Somebody definitely went over the top on the B&Q sale here. Right, 2 paths. Sod it, let's go down the beach. Hell. Ah, some lobster traps.
At night, you can see the lights sometimes from a passing tanker or trawler. From up on the cliffs they are mundane. But down here, they fugue into ambiguity. For instance, I cannot readily tell if they belong above or below the waves. The distinction now seems banal. Why not everything and all at once? There's nothing better to do here than indulge in contradictions whilst waiting for the fabric of life to unravel.
Let's go up here. To be some sort of radio tower in the distance.
The mount is clearly the focal point of this landscape. It almost appears so well placed as to be artificial. I find myself easily slipping into the delusional state of ascribing purpose, deliberate motive to everything here. Was this island formed during the moment of impact? When we were torn loose from our moorings, and the seatbelts cut motorway lanes into our chests and shoulders, did it first break surface then? When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Some sort of Stonehenge looking thing down there. Very strange.
We are not like Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms. No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning or the shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence.
Ah. It's a boat. A ship down there. Don't know if I can get to it or not.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Doesn't look like there's a way across. Let's have a look in here.
I would leave you presents outside your retreat, in this interim space between cliff and beach. I would leave you loaves and fishes, but the fish stocks have been depleted and I've run out of bread. I would row you back to your homeland in a bottomless boat, but I fear we would both be driven mad by the chatter of the sea creatures.
It's more of that weird paint. Another formula. There's not much else in here. Guess we keep heading towards that.
He still maintains he wasn't drunk, but tired. I can't make the judgment or the distinction anymore. I was drunk when I landed here, and tired too. I walked up the cliff path in near darkness and camped in the bay where the trawler lies beached. It was only at dawn that I saw the bothy and decided to make my temporary lodgings there. I was expecting just the aerial and a transmitter stashed in a weatherproof box somewhere on the mount. It had an air of uneasy permanence to it. Like all the other buildings here, erosion seems to have evaded it completely.
There's a book. Chemistry book. Alright guys, I think we're going to leave it there for this episode, but tune in next time to find out what happens in Dear Esther.